New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Good flipping evening. This is another episode, rare episode of Late Night Color Commentary. I am your host, Culler. It is 10:05 p.m. in South Florida. Currently 77 degrees and raining in the 561. Clearing up around the South Florida, but it is still spotty. Humidity 84%, pressure 29.91 millibars, and it looks like it's just going to continue to rain and rain and rain and rain and rain and rain. I know some of you were expecting TMI Tuesday tonight, but Tonk needed some time to study for something important, so I went ahead and decided to offer to preempt the show with a late night color commentary, a rare one. I haven't used that intro in a long time. To talk about the state of affairs, since I haven't had a chance since the debacle in Buffalo, where the Miami Dolphins fell to the Buffalo Bills 48-20. I got a lot to say on both sides of the ball, but mainly, as you can see by the title, this thing about Kader now seems to be on fire, and this whole thing between Kader, X, and what X wanted to do to help, and Vic Fangio and everything else is just gotten blown way out of proportion at this point. And I felt the need to actually preempt the show tonight to talk about this because I think people are just have a really interesting perspective. I'm going to talk about that, but I'm also going to talk about a few other things. We'll get to that in a minute. In the meantime, you all know the drill. Hit the like button right now. I command you to hit the like button right now. Because if we're, dealing with this, at least hit the like button. Share the video, subscribe. I want everybody to hear this. As the offense ain't absolved of the responsibility for what they're responsible to do either. But make sure you're hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, and hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. You know about all the changes or whatever when one of us has to pop in and start yelling. And you might know those people as El Capitan, our fearless leader, who is currently working hard to dissect the film. We have received the film. TFTG experts are currently disseminating the video a la El Capitan, who's going to have a lot of answers for us as to what happened to our defense Sunday. And he's vigorously looking through it and getting ready to record a show to bring that information to you. So make sure you're hitting the notification bell so you know when it drops. It probably might drop for members first, which reminds me to tell you, become a member. We got 3 different levels. As little as $3 a month. You can show support for the Fins Tailgate. If not, you can hit us up on Cash App with $, the Fins Tailgate, or Venmo the Fins Tailgate, as well as super chats and super stickers on YouTube. Show your love. And if not, just hit the like button. That's just as much love. You got myself popping in with coffee every now and then with you and a cup of me. Plus, color commentary. Here we are. I got to give it to you. We got the play-by-play. Now we need the color commentary, and it's me. That's what I do around here. Ali, top of the tailgate, dealing with an issue right now that I don't want to get deep on because it's not my place to. But I want to make sure I want to ask everybody in the chat right now to just send out a prayer for Ali and his family. I'll let him be the one to, disseminate any news to you about what his personal issue is in the family right now. But he has asked us and all that to ask for a prayer. So I really appreciate it if everybody in the chat who believes in anything, pray to your deity for Ali and his family, please. Thank you very much. And I will also say, make sure you're catching his broken takes when they drop. We're going to be probably starting to record those again. You can also catch me co-hosting with him on top of the tailgate in the morning. And if I have to, I will have a cup of color with you all. So Check out that too. One way or another, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning. Plus, you got Shake Money hitting us with the drive. It's the Smoke Lounge tomorrow night, I believe. 6 p.m. And then the drive time will be on Friday, I believe, around the same time. And you got Lewis helping him with that. The rabid dolphin. Y'all know him. Y'all love him. He's just about arrived back from vacation. He'll be getting his word in pretty soon, and he's got a lot to say. Kahari P, KP, running the fantasy league. I'm curious to find out how things turned out for those in our league, in our TFTG fantasy league. How our defense may or may not have helped them, or also the offense may or may not have helped them. So check that out on Saturday morning, 11 a.m., and I'll be joining him to answer any DFS daily fantasy questions for you as well. I'm no expert, but I have done it a little while, and I can tell you at least what you're supposed to do or try to supposed to do. And you got crypto coming at you Mondays and Thursdays. Monday's show was great. He had a lot to say, a lot of great insight from crypto. Catch that at noon. And of course, the OG Tonk, who's studying right now, so I'm covering him. But normally you will see TMI Tuesdays with Tonk tonight around 9:30. Make sure you're, like I said, you're hitting the like button and subscribing. And go to our website, tftgnetwork.com, bookmark it, make it your homepage. Check out all our content there. It's a centralized location to get to all of this and all the content. Make sure you're doing that. So when you open your browser, it's the first page you see. And check out the TFTG shop where you can get things like the Cooking Folk apron. You love it. Look at that. Hopefully we can start cooking folk again on the field. Also, one other thing. Our partners, Fanatics, hit the link in the description below. Use it to get to their website to make any purchases so they know we sent you. And they have all your officially licensed gear. NHL, NFL, MLB, NBA, curling. No, I'm kidding. I don't know about curling, but either case, after you're done getting your helmet, take it over to Backroom Collections and have them customize it for you. That's what they do there. If you're setting it up in an office space or a man cave or probably a kitchen, I don't know, they'll customize all kinds of stuff for you. Husband and wife team, support your small business. Use hashtag TFTG in the link at checkout. I'm sorry. For 10% off your first purchase, as well as W energy drinks. It's going to keep you up watching this debacle of a football team and give you some energy when you're depressed over it. W energy drinks. All smash, no crash. Link in the description below. Hashtag TFTG at checkout for 10% off. Shake has reviewed the starter pack with all the basic flavors. You can check out his videos on TFTG to check out his reviews and what he thinks about them. So, welcome everybody in chat. I'm so glad you're here. We got 41 of you watching right now. I don't know how many likes there are, but get the likes up. Carla was the first one in chat. She is a member. We love her around here. Hard-nosed debate from Carla. She says, let's see, let me get all the way back up to the top. It's going to be all right. Miami defense will be greatly improved next year. LOL. Yeah, I know, Carla. I know. How's your defense doing? I saw you lay claim to him this weekend on Saturday night. I don't think I didn't see that. Did you take ownership of our defense away from me? Was that your defense we saw on the field Sunday? Wow. I hadn't thought of that till just now. So everybody can blame Carla's defense for Sunday. I'm just kidding, Carla. Flava J, how you doing? Yeah, we should. After what they showed, after what the Giants showed last night, we definitely should. Jay says Judon out at least 2 months. Helps us versus New England in a month. Should. Next man up mentality for Belichick. You know how he rolls. But welcome, Jay. Liz as well. Flim Flams, who is a member. I'll say hi to Flim Flams. We all know who he is. Michael K., resident Bills jester. Caleb Williams, how you doing? Joe Rist. Josh Allen is the next Carson Wentz. And Los Dolphinaticos, how you doing? Yeah, I saw your name on the ban list for some reason. I don't know why. I don't remember why I banned you, but I took it off anyway. I'm sure enough time has gone by. No bigs. Says Ian Eichenberg threw our offense off. He has to get on that yellow bus and leave town. And he also says he's the reason Armstead got injured. He's a liability. Hey, man, I mean, you know, who can argue? But it seems that our management, again, is completely fine with that, I suppose. I have no idea why. But we should look to see Connor Williams get back in the lineup this week. At least pray to whatever deity you pray to that we do. I see it looks like, oh no, that was what I put in earlier. So no, I don't know if Capitan's in here or not, but shout out to him. Hooked up Joe, how you doing? Jamie Reichart, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Kevin Haunts, aka Vince in a Pinch. Good evening to you too. Fins up 74. Crypto's in the building. Everybody say hi to Crypto. Duke Tomlinson, good to see you, man. Adam Padilla, we're trying to go. Josh Allen is the next Carson Wentz says, turn it up, Culler. Yeah, I really should. I mean, I've been trying to be even keeled and try to have a different, approach because everybody gets all, Culler's whining, Culler's crying, or Culler's yelling. That's all he does. Have a Snickers. CCRR, how you doing? I couldn't disagree with you. Yeah, 20 points is what wins in the NFL. That's what I get where you're coming from. Duke Tomlin says Fangio doesn't trust X. Man, it's a really interesting you use that word trust because I'm going to use it in a few minutes, and I appreciate you with that comment. How you doing, Shake Money? Y'all are welcome to come up. I think I pinned the link, but I do got to get out a lot. Not just about our team, but I got something to say about some other certain other thing that really burns me up. Like just maybe I shouldn't care. Okay, but we'll get into what I'm talking about in just a second. Let me finish saying hi to everybody. Day one, how you doing? I think that's how you would pronounce that. It's all one word. AB, how you doing, AB? Yeah, I know, right? But Wilkins wants 20 mil a year. I get you. I'm laughing too. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. How you doing? Good to see you. I think I got everybody. I see Mudbone. How you doing, Mudbone? And John Featherland. Yep. See you, John. Dolphins for life. New attitude. Fins up to you too. I see G in the house. Bryson. And G. Everybody say hi to G, who's a member. And hit hashtag free drip. Oh, by the way, I did pin a poll because I don't know if, by the way, anybody, that's it with people in the chat. If anybody else comes in, you get a way bigger welcome than everybody else got. So shout out to you. But I put a poll up because, again, I know we should put it behind us, but it's Tuesday. How's it going, Amicus? They should have, I think maybe they should have waited like another day or so until we as fans feel proper enough to move on to the next week. I mean, like it's Tuesday. We just got blown out. So I'm going to leave it up to you all as to whether we should be enough of in the mood. I mean, look, it is the quarter mark of the season. We are 3-1. I think any team in the league would probably be proud of that and should be. It's a weird way that we've arrived at 3-1. I would say. But I am not, no matter what I say before I get started, no matter what I say, I am not rats off a ship. This is nothing that can't be fixed. This is nothing that can't be chalked up, thrown away, forgotten about, wrapped up in a box, and never heard of again. This is the moment where they play the fiddle music in the 30 for 30 story of our Super Bowl win this year, right? Where they're like, we, times got tough. We took a big loss in Buffalo. We're. And then we rolled from there. So I am 100% still a believer in this football team overall. And I love these guys to death. They're all great. Okay. But so I had to just say that first. I'm probably getting myself off topic, but so I'm leaving it to you guys as to whether we should play the Javon Holland mic'd up video that the Dolphins released on YouTube. Because, I don't know if it's appropriate or not. I didn't need to see it. I mean, I watched it and I'm like, oh, it's cool, but I didn't need to see it, to be honest with you. Not at this moment. So I'm leaving it up to you guys to make that decision for me. And I'm talking slow because I'm also trying to get to the current results right at the moment. So the poll question is, should Culler play the Javon Holland mic'd up video? Yes or no? And currently, yes is winning 72% to 28% with 36 votes in. So get your votes in. There's 49 people watching. So we'll let it ride a little longer. Get your vote in. I want it to be a nice sample size. And the question is, should we play the Javon Holland mic'd up video? It's a good question, Kevin Hunts, who asks, who is the leader of this defense? Because I'm not seeing any leadership whatsoever. That's a good question. Seems like Fangio is. I mean, win or lose, live or die, it seems like Fangio is. Because nobody seemed to want to step up into that role on the field Sunday. Which I just don't understand. Look, on Monday, everybody wanted to use Kader Kohou as a whipping boy. And if y'all don't know what a whipping boy is and don't really understand the concept fully, let me explain it to you this way. Back in medieval times, this is why I know I got to do this. For those younger folk or those lesser inclined to understand deeper sociological customs and norms, okay? Back in medieval times, and even now, I mean, you couldn't do this now, but we still usually respect women in a certain way that no matter how much they piss you off, you just don't strike a woman. That's just something you don't do. Now, some would argue, well, if you're being attacked and got to defend yourself, it is what it is. Okay, fine. That's different. But I'm talking in general, when it comes to rules of chivalry, you're never supposed to strike a woman. Well, back in medieval times, especially if it was a noble woman, like a duchess or a princess or a lady of the court, you just don't strike a woman, right? So back in medieval times, they used to actually have servants stand in the role. So whenever their master got pissed enough at a woman when he was having an argument or a conversation or a negotiation, or even if it was the king or a high noble that they can't just slap, they would slap the servant. And that was known as a whipping boy. And I was just appalled by the way people Monday all day wanted to throw Kader Kohou under the bus for the debacle that happened in Buffalo, for getting beat by the third best receiver in the league. Now, he was the third most productive last year, according to my 9-metric average, but I consider him to be the third best going right now overall. And I'm not absolving Kader Kohou of any responsibility to cover a guy. That's not what I'm trying to do. But to pin 4 seasons of absolute lack of effort when it comes to games like this, lack of ability to tackle, mainly, and to explain away 4 seasons of that on Kader Kohou Sunday was absolutely ridiculous to me. Now, first of all 11 guys on defense deserve to have our names in their mouth for one reason or another. But the 11th guy is Kader Kohou. Yet we spent all day yesterday throwing him under the bus, hanging him out to dry, treating him as a whipping boy because we can't slap the noble. Well, I'm here to slap the noble. And from what I understand, Xavier Howard requested to relieve Kader Kohou of that assignment. Because according to a friend talking in another space who was at the game, Stephon Diggs was completely taunting Kader Kohou for most of the game. That's another question I had, Steve Rose. Welcome. Yeah, I know he's burnt X and Ramsey in the half, but your other question, why no safety help on Diggs? Agree. Oh, yeah, because nobody can tackle. Right. And the reason I think Kader Kohou should be at the 11th name that's in our mouths is because he is absolutely the best open field tackler on our team. And when I look at the biggest problem that we had Sunday, it is not him getting burned 3 times. We made up for that with 2 touchdowns. We could have made up for it with a third, because we did have issues on offense. We were keeping up with them. Both defenses were getting smoked. Both quarterbacks had 100% completion rate after like 5 or 6 passes. Both defenses were getting smoked. Theirs made adjustments, ours didn't. And as such, our offense couldn't make adjustments. I get it. Liam Eichenberg at center. Armstead going out. I get all that. But the fact remains, 20 points ain't enough. But I don't think adding points to or adding offensive production to that game would have made one difference in the world, except to make us look more respectable. Now, I've heard people say, oh, X should have, because the thing about your first comment, Stephen, was that, should X have said, well, yeah, if, I think it's a little easier to stomach for the team and the image of whoever and, backing up your guy who is not even close to the caliber of a corner on the edge to contain Stephon Diggs. And get burned or not, there's some that say X should have just done that. Like, no matter what Fangio said, like, override him as a team captain. And the whole thing of it is that X basically had a gamble to make because he said publicly he asked for that assignment and was denied. But the key word somebody mentioned earlier was trust. Remember, I said to remember that word. And this is why I'm a little concerned that it may be more systemic than we think. Because the key word is trust. Xavier Howard would have had to trust two things to override coaching decisions and save Kader's image. He would have had to trust himself and his skills to do any better. And he would have had to trust Fangio. Because later on, the locker room would look at Fangio and say, who really is the leader of this defense? If X can just override whatever and do whatever he wants. Well, there's some point where you have to say, hey, this is my teammate. This guy's out here clowning him. It don't matter who gets burned. If anybody's going to get burned, it's going to be me, but you're not going to clown Xavier Howard. And JR, I do too, because here's the gambit. Even if he does get burned, he's already been burned by Diggs. And the thing of it is that I keep hearing you got to give it time, and it's like, well, first of all, Fangio himself said that there's no time involved. He's handed these players. He's got to do. There's no excuse. He publicly refused to accept that excuse before the season started. Now, I don't know why Xavier Howard didn't trust Fangio enough to back him up. In other words, Fangio very well could have said, hey, pull him aside. You shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. What if it succeeded? What if X would have got a pick 6 off of it or something? I mean, what if, right? But later on, all Fangio would have to do to not lose the locker room is say that he sanctioned that. Like in retro. Hey guys, yeah, I told X to do that. You didn't see us. We were off to the side talking, and I told him, yeah, don't let Diggs clown our guys. Do what you got to do. Fangio is up in the booth. You could argue that Fangio expected out of X, which would argue that that he is also guilty of not stepping up as a leader. But then why in a public press conference would he say publicly that he requested that assignment and was denied? Well, this is the same argument we've had about Tua over the years. At what point does Tua say, Coach, you're freaking nuts. I'm not running this play. I'm running this one. And if it works and you get a touchdown, professional to professional, what are you going to say to me? Don't do that again? Bullshit. If I need to do it, I'll do it again. And you saw that it worked. So for some reason, Xavier Howard didn't have that trust in Fangio to back him up. And as such, Kader got hung out to dry. I titled it Hung Out to Diggs, but that was a play on words. And so I want to continue to back up Kader and say, hey, look, the last person on our defensive squad that needs to be in our mouth right now as to why we lost Sunday is Kader Kohou. I'm real interested, and as I said, TFTG film experts, as we speak, are disseminating the all 22. And El Capitan will be giving us some answers from his perspective on why things went down the way they did Sunday. So make sure you're hitting the notification bell after liking and subscribing, of course, to make sure you know when that drops. I am not going to pound on Kader Kohou for what happened Sunday. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to allow it on my platform. Well, I should say, you can say your piece about it, but we're not going to harp about it. If somebody on one of our on my panel says, hey, this and that, Kader Kohou, okay, you said it once. That's as far as you get to say it. Still, that doesn't do anything to damage free speech. So anyway, I want to go over some of the numbers real quick because I also want to make sure we're all aware of what actually happened according to the numbers on Sunday when it comes to the what we were able to do to Josh Allen and on the defensive line in general, and show you, or at least help us understand where the actual problem in the trenches was at. Believe it or not, the problem in the trenches was not in the passing game, in the passing defense. Believe it or not. Culler, what? What, Culler? You're freaking lying. No, I'm just telling you according to these particular stats, which y'all know how I use stats carefully. I use them to describe what happened. I don't use them to predict anything. And I think it's fair to do that. Given a certain sample size or a certain context. Yeah, of course. And that context may be subjective, but I can still look at objective things inside that subjective framework. And here we go. We blitzed, believe it or not, We blitzed Josh Allen 8 times. Now, I know that's not a large number. And it's not even it's in the lower end of how many times he's been blitzed. The Jets blitzed him 11 times. The Raiders blitzed him 12 times. Washington blitzed him 7 times, and we blitzed him 8 times. We sacked him twice. And we got 8 pressures on him. Now, I'm not saying that those 8 pressures came from the 8 blitzes, but I just think it's an interesting coincidence that we had 8 blitzes and pressured him 8 times. But that's the second highest number of pressures that anybody's put on him. The Jets were number 1 with 11 they put on him. The Raiders had 4 pressures on him. Washington had 2 pressures on him. We hurried him 5 times, hit him once, sacked him twice for a total of 8. But the pressure percentage, i.e., the number of times we got in the backfield and pressured him per number of snaps that he took, that would be the pressure percentage. And this is where the number is really valid. The Jets' pressure percentage against Josh Allen was 22%. The Raiders pressured him at a 10.3% rate. The Washington Commanders pressured him at a 5.7% rate. And the Miami Dolphins pressured Josh Allen 27.6% of his dropbacks. His drop percentage was 0. And his bad throw percentage was 4%. The Jets caused him to throw a bad throw percentage of 17.9%. So he screwed up against the Jets, given the same levels of pressure. Either that or our secondary collapsed. The problem was not where was not Josh Allen dicing us up. He was going to do that. We were matching him toe to toe. Last time I checked, first 2 possessions of each team resulted in a 14-14 tie. And so, believe it or not, we actually did get some pressure on him. We just didn't follow up. We didn't follow up with tackling. We didn't follow up with scramble drill in the secondary. Because I think that's really where it's at. First of all, the biggest problem I saw Sunday, besides lack of tackling, was lack of pursuit to the football. People forget that when Kader got burned on one of those, Diggs broke away from him and still ran for another 20 or so yards for the touchdown. Where was the safety? Where was the pursuit to the football? Well, Jermaine, you're correct, but he created that time himself. But we did pressure him to have to do that. We can't tackle anybody beyond the line of scrimmage. And I would argue at the line of scrimmage. Because if you were to turn around and say, okay, where did Buffalo then, how are they able to drop and move down the field just on Josh Allen alone? No. Their running game was punching right through our freaking defense like it wasn't even there. No Christian Wilkins. No Sealer. No anybody. Now, if we're talking about the linebackers still not filling the right gap or whatever we're talking about against the Chargers, maybe that's the case. That's what, Capitan's furiously looking at right now as we speak. I could only see it from the television broadcast view like everybody else. But what I do know that I saw was two linebackers standing there exchanging recipes for buffalo sauce while Javon Holland was tackling a tight end by himself with no pursuit to the football. I mean, what are we supposed to do with that? What is Vic Fangio supposed to do with that? Now, we could talk about the issue between X and him and Kader Kohou. That's separate. What scheme is Vic? I mean, I guess you could say some have said, well, Boyer's scheme. Because to be honest with you, we haven't given up that many points to anybody since like what? The Ravens did it to us in the tank year. Virtually the same guys on defense, healthier even. Yet Boyer was able to hold Buffalo down to enough points for us to win, for us to. So, for instance, if Buffalo scored 33 against us, against a Boyer-led defense, much like they did last year, okay, that's fine. At that point, we can then be turning our eye to the offense and ask, why the hell could we only put up 20 freaking points? I don't give a damn what defense we're playing. I don't give a damn how much better the Buffalo defense is than the Broncos defense. Now, I can understand that the point total would be diminished. That Buffalo, even if we were truly scoring 43 points a game, let's say we were scoring 30 points a game, which is high, I still think Buffalo's defense would have diminished our offensive production. Sure, I'm not arguing against that. But 20 damn points in a game, I'm sorry. It's not diminished enough by the crowd noise, by the lack of being able to snap the ball, to manipulate the defense, whatever. I saw things on offense that I remember that I didn't understand, I would say either, on when it comes to our quarterback as well as coaching, play calling. So they're not absolved of their responsibility for not scoring more than 20 damn points. Maybe it would have made it look more respectable. I don't know. Maybe it would have been, okay, well, that does help the defense maybe not get 48 point put on them. So we lose 38-28 or something. But damn. What was different from this year's game plan from last year's game plan where we put, 29 on them and 32 or something in the last two meetings in Buffalo, one with a backup quarterback. And you're right, AB. We had Liam at center. I get all that. But they're the ones that let him get a couple snaps in training camp and said, oh, look what this experiment we're running. They're the ones that did that AB, and they stood behind their decision. $20 points? Hit the like button, everybody. 67 of you watching. I appreciate every soul that is tuning into me tonight. Oh, by the way, shout out to a gentleman that I met today who's actually got like 2 or 3 tats on his leg, dolphin tats right on his leg. Popped up here in the 561. I couldn't believe it. I gave him the show info and all that and the channel info. So if you're listening tonight, I don't want to out your name, so but shout out to you, whoever you go by. I know if I told you to say it was me, our whole audience would say it was me, so I'm not even going to bother asking that question. But anyway, good meeting a fellow Dolphin fan tonight. He had all kinds of questions, wanting to know where kind of groups you can hang out with and where everybody gathers. And I said, hey, come around here, you'll find out. Long as you's raised right, everybody's welcome. We all got our problems, so we don't judge, but hit the like button. I do want to shout out Jalen Waddle. I know I've been really hard on him. I mean, people think I've been hard on him. I really haven't been hard on him. I don't think it's much to expect a wide receiver in the NFL to keep his eyes on the football. Separation between good and great. That's all I was saying. That's all I was ever saying. Well, that catch this week in Buffalo was great. I consider that a great catch. And he has one in the bag for me now. I mean, he had others, but that was all eyes, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make sure everybody's aware. Yes, I'm being a little selfish right now. But I told you all how important keeping your eyes on the football is. I told you all that it's 99% of making a catch is catching it with your eyes. And Jalen Waddle proved that Sunday, and I want to give him a big thank you for that. I mean, that stuff wasn't supposed to happen. Let's be real, but he made it happen. And that's what great players do. So he's looking great. Appreciate that, Jalen. Good for you. And JMCPT, love you, buddy. How you doing tonight? Yeah, experimenting. Here's my problem with that, though, JM. And I appreciate your comment, JMCPT. Coming around again, everybody. Member of the channel. Says, Culler, you said it. We still experimenting. Yep. And my problem with that, though, is why? In this game. Why? Because the only way to really absolve us or excuse us, if you want to use those words, the only way to even explain or whatever is to say, okay, Fangio's still working on things, still getting used to pieces and blah, 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 and all that, right? And it's hard to disagree with that. In that case, we should have said, because first of all, Fangio is not relying on that excuse. He said himself. And to correct everybody who's been talking about it, Fangio said that he needed to find the talent on this team. He didn't say we didn't have it. He didn't say he didn't know where it was at. He didn't say none of that. He said we need to find the talent on this team. Some of us construed that to possibly mean outside the building. Okay, fine. But he never said anything like, we don't have it here. I don't believe in these guys. He never said any of that. First of all, because I've been hearing that narrative too. And NFL is, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother rabbit hole if I address this gentleman's comment, but I have to. It's just going to take me about 30 minutes to do it. No, I'm just kidding. Trying things. I get it. Everyone is. But when you got a game like that where you already have a team that you know can hold that team to a certain average number of points because of what they were doing with a previous defensive coordinator, let's be real. In a game like this, where you have a chance to put some real distance between you and your rival opponent in the division and a really tough team, as we saw, why are you doing that in this game? Why are you throwing it out? Why are you conceding the game and saying, oh, well, it's in Buffalo. We can use that excuse. We can blah, blah, blah. Everything's tough. You know what I mean? Why this game? You could have easily called a game and had a game plan that has been known to at least work enough to keep them down to 30-some points. Low 30s. And given what we've seen with our offense, no, I'm not expecting 70. I'm not expecting 50. But I could expect to beat them. I could expect to finally get over that 2.5 point difference, which was what the spread was from Vegas. I thought our offense had shown they can do enough, even against the best defense in the league, to keep up with them and score. We proved we were in the beginning 2 drives of the game. And then just fell off a cliff. And I'm not even saying do the experimentation. Keep installing your new stuff and taking chances like that against teams like the Giants or the Panthers. Not in a game where we have a chance to take a 2-game lead this early in the season. If you take that 2-game lead, you have all this time in the world. You have all this buffer in the world to do all that the rest of the way out. I just, I don't understand it. I really don't. What happened Sunday was the Buffalo Bills, as I told everybody, were under more pressure than we were. If they would have lost, we would have taken a 2-game lead on them. With a tiebreaker, as Dolphins for Life adds. And the consequences for us losing was that we are a half game back of them, which could easily be remedied by smacking the Giants up and down the field like we should and them losing. I don't know who they're playing this week. I don't really care. The Jets beat them. They've shown they can lose to anybody. And I really don't see much difference in defensive performance on this advanced passing page between our game with them and theirs, except that Josh Allen had a 17.9% bad throw percentage in that game, with a 0% drop rate. So it wasn't his wide receiver's fault. They only got 3 more pressures on him than we did and a lower pressure rate. Yet he put He had a 51.9 first down percentage on us and a 23.9 first down percentage on them. So they were getting him off the field on third down. That's what that tells me. We weren't. Look, we just did not put forth the effort. They played like a team that had more to lose than we did. And we played like a team that didn't value taking a 2-game lead this early in the season for anything. We didn't value that for anything. And as such, we got embarrassed. We took the day off. Now, you could argue maybe the team doesn't feel that embarrassment. I don't know. That's what we need to find out. Exactly, NFL is lit. It's a playoff atmosphere. It should have been treated as such. The value for a win for us was so high. We could have shaped the whole entire season. I don't understand what people don't get in that. Like, we sit here and watch our opponents in the AFC, across the AFC, and we watch the same teams get to the same point every single year. And those teams are usually the ones that are the quickest to get out to a 2-game lead in their division. Now, we still have the chance to do that. I'm not saying because of what they did and how we played things can't be corrected and we can't get right back on the train we were on. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying we had a chance to put it to rest this early. And of course, if there is issues in the locker room between players and the coordinator and this and that and the other, then we could easily see the same slide against a team that we really get embarrassed by. Because if you saw the Giants play last night, you'd understand that we cannot afford to lose to a team like this. We cannot afford to have a get-right game for the New York Giants. So I suspect you could look at a serious blowout again. Denver Broncos style. Who knows? Our team is so volatile right now. It's like playing Texas Hold'em to try to predict what we're going to do. And we don't need to be there. That's where we are every year. Carolina is a team we could drop one to. That is a team that's playing decent ball. Doesn't matter what their record is. We got the Commanders to play. We got the Dallas Cowboys to play. I mean, come on. Are we going to treat all those games like this one too? And so I wanted to say, by the way, welcome back to NFL is Lit. You all know him as our resident Chargers fan around here who has finally come back at the end of the quarter mark of the season. Shout out to you, NFL is Lit. Don't know where you've been, but hope all is well with the family. Not trying to insinuate nothing. But welcome back anyway, NFL is Lit. Current poll result, should Culler play the Javon Holland mic'd up video with 78 votes in, 63 people watching. Awesome. Get the likes up, guys. Appreciate all you listening to me tonight. I know I'm ranting. It is what it is. But I'm mad. I'm really mad. We should not have shown ourselves to be like that this week. That is absolutely ridiculous. The lack of effort and the lack of respectable football on our parts It just baffles my mind. It really does. Some people are like, don't baffle mine. It's the same old Dolphins. No, it's not. These are fundamental coaching aspects that are like, look, you need to have your teams prepared to play every game. It goes back to last year with the Vikings game. This has nothing to do with Sunday. This has to do with the Vikings last year, just as well as anything else. Now, we've remedied that as far as the ability, or the quantity of Dolphin fans in the stadium against the Broncos this year. Our only home game so far has been, encouraging. I suspect if we had to play, it's really going to be telling against the Giants, because they've always made those tickets expensive. Those tickets are expensive because it's a New York team. They have a large following down here. I hope to God it ain't a whole bunch of Giants fans in our stadium this week, because you start to talk about, these people last year were talking about, it's an NFC game. It doesn't affect our tiebreaker at all. Who cares? I mean, what are you talking about? Why are we even talking about how our tiebreaker is affected? How the hell do you think you get to needing a tiebreaker? The Buffalo Bills go 13-3 just about every year. You got to have 13 wins to be even talking tiebreaker for anything. Unless you're talking about tiebreaker for wild card. I thought we were beyond that. Good evening, Miss Finns. How you doing? Still trying to get ticks for Sunday's game? Wow. Yeah, I know. They're ridiculous for the Giants. Thank you, Michael K. I guess. I mean, yeah, of course. For the $2 donation. It says Canucks should stick to curling and 5-pin bowling. I don't know what that's about, but I guess he must be arguing with Jay or somebody. I don't really know. Yes, Joe. Ali and when I go to games with him, does fly the TFTG flag in his personal, our tailgate in the yellow parking section right at the road that separates yellow from orange. Where he's there ready, setting things up by 9:00. Just look for the TFTG flag around the old East 32 parking lane on the east side of the stadium. Thank you for the question, Joe. Wait, how did people remove their votes? It said 78 votes a minute ago. Now it says 74. How did people remove their vote? Like, really? I didn't even think you could do that. Now, Tua, in his game, it's hard to blame him for anything. I mean, the guy put in max effort. He made some dumb decisions a couple times, threw an interception, threw an almost interception, threw an almost interception. But you can't really blame him given the protection and pressure he was under There was a couple times where it was his doing that stopped us from getting a big loss. I mean, he put in a lot of effort into getting outside the pocket and throwing the ball away on one particular occasion. And somebody had the question earlier about doing something to confuse Tua or make him not be able to, he doesn't go through his progressions or whatnot. No, Tua definitely doesn't have that problem. And this is one of the reasons I don't really care for how he handled his some of the things he did dropping back to pass last week, because there were times when Tyreek was wide open. There were times when Waddle was wide open. There were times when plenty of guys were wide open, and he had just got to planting his foot and still had the ability to go to his first read, which was already wide open, like with a large amount of yardage, okay, or not just a short route. And he chose to swing his shoulders and semi pump to throw a linebacker off to hit another guy that ended up not getting fooled on and not being open, when he could have just thrown the ball to the first read. And it got me a little concerned that maybe somebody is trying to prove something to people that he doesn't always throw to the first read. And that kind of concerned me a little bit. I'm not going to harp on it, but it happened 2 or 3 times throughout the game where it's like, oh man, that guy was wide open. Why didn't you just do it? And you're pumping your shoulders to throw a linebacker off that was already in the wrong spot, and then throwing to the guy that he fell to the wrong spot at. That's got to get better. Can't be doing that. So we are at the hour and 12-minute mark. Everybody like and share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. 66 of you watching right now. And the poll is at 77 votes, which was the year I was born. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the poll right there. And we will get the results as soon as this page refreshes. Where'd it go? Where'd the poll results go? Did y'all see the poll result? Are y'all seeing the poll results? Oh, there it is. I just had to refresh it a little bit. 77 votes. Should Culler play? The Javon Holland mic'd up. 67% of you said yes. 32% of you said no. So we are going to play it because I need a quick break. It's about 5 minutes long. It's not ridiculously long, but it is fun to watch, I guess. So we'll use that to transition into the other topic that I really am aggravated about. And I hope I alienate a certain sector of the public for what I'm going to say, because I don't really care. This is football. But here we go. Let me add this booger here. And I will mute myself.
Let's go!
What's up, Ryan AP?
Tell me out, right? Hey, let's go! Hey, yes, sir! 1, 2, 3. Baby. You still need? Oh. Ah. Oh. Bro, knock it off me. Knock it off me. All right. Hey, tell me he's not a different guy now, is he? Since a little contract? No, he came in with a little more confidence step. He came in with a little more confidence step. Oh, yeah. Need a beverage. Need a beverage, man. Let's go. Hey, be a difference. Be a difference. Let them on the field, man. Let's go. Hey, DB's on 3, 1, 2, 3. DB. Yeah. All day. Come on, dude. We don't make a handshake. We do. On the rock, bro. Control the best. Clean feet, calm on. Clean feet, calm on. Clean feet, calm on. Breathe some tension. Breathe some tension. Be the baddest on the field. Be the baddest on the field. Woo! Clean feet, calm on. Woo! Come on, Vaughn. Be great. You got it in you. 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 Be great. Be great. It's always been you. It's always been you. It's always been you. Hey, you the chosen one. Hey, you got to make it happen. I'm proud of you, boy. Proud of you. Let's make it happen. Oh! Hey, ball up first. Let's make it happen, baby. Whoa!
First and goal. 3 yards out. Back to Achane. Achane's got another touchdown. The rookie finds the end zone.
Boy. Yeah.
By the 2 quarterbacks. Tua starts the second quarter with another complete. What a catch. Mostert jumps up with 2 defenders around him.
Woo! Let's go.
By the way, a few of those Bills fans last week wanted an example of a throw that Tua could make that Josh Allen could never make. And you just saw it. Yeah, that's what I just said. Josh Allen is the next Carson Wentz. Amicus. Flim flams. Yeah, that's what I just said. Josh Allen cannot make that throw. You want to see it again? Let's see it again. Watch this throw again. Howie?
By the 2 quarterbacks. Tua starts the second quarter with another complete. What a catch. Mostert jumps up with 2 defenders around him.
Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Come on, go. Good job, boy. You heard that, boy? I saw him looking up. I know. Oh, just kick the water bottle. I just kicked the water bottle. Is that big?
On the run, flings it incomplete. That was intended for sure field.
One of them games, man. One of them games. What up, man? What's up, baby?
All respect, boy.
What's
Hey,
up?
you keep balling, man.
You too.
This your
You too,
year.
brother.
This your
Send me
year.
this. Send me this.
Oh, bet.
I'm gonna send you this. Good, good. All right. What up,
Hey,
bro?
respect, bro.
Mad respect, bro. I've been watching for a while, man.
Keep balling, bro.
You too, man. Keep doing your
Keep
thing.
balling, man.
Keep doing your thing. Hey, Gabe. Respect, bro.
Yeah, of course,
bro.
bro.
Yep. Funny.
That's why we gotta come get your because we know you can.
Yeah, I know.
I think maybe some of you see why I had to put a poll up as to whether I should show that or not. Whose year is it, Javon? Was that Javon saying that, or was that Hyde saying it to Javon? Could you all tell? If it was a better throw, Amicus, Shakir would have had a better chance to come up with the catch. Raven says Javon to Hyde. I don't, man, that's what I thought too. I'm like, really? I could never imagine saying that one of our players just told the opponent after getting 48 points put on a defense. Oh, I remember the catch. I remember the pass, Amicus. I watched the game. But you're going to tell your opponent it's their year. It wasn't like he was saying that to an offensive player that was so good that, it's his personal year. Like, okay, I could see him saying that to somebody like Stephon Diggs. He could say it to Hyde. Yeah, maybe personally to Hyde, it's your year. But if it's Micah Hyde's year, that means we ain't scoring no more points on them. I mean, you can understand our displeasure, disappointment, projection from our fan base, because what are we supposed to say to that after we just took that kind of loss, man? And I hope I'm not overreacting, but this furthers the idea that we're just treating these games early on in the season like this is baseball or something. But at the same time, we're 3-1 at the quarter mark. Well, this is where I'll stop, Raven. We're 3-1 at the quarter mark. We've had some ups and downs. We're highly volatile overall when it comes to trying to predict whether we'll win or lose against different teams. And I hope to see that become a little more even throughout the year, starting with the Giants this week. But I can't wait for Capitan to get done with his film analysis. I'm really curious to see right where the failures are on both sides of the ball, mainly defense, because he knows a little bit more about the the weeds. He's in the little weeds a little more on defense, having played on defense. He's a little more adept at disseminating that stuff. So on defense. So we'll see what he has to say about it. I'm really curious. Keep a lookout for that. Hit your notification bell, because he will be coming out with that shortly. I don't know when, but we'll see. I mean, he's already got the framework to put it to do the show, so I know it's happening. That's all I'm saying. But he ain't gonna make you wait all week, so make sure you're keeping a lookout for that. It's gonna drop soon. And thank you all for showing up. Right at tonight. Yeah, we had a bunch at the moment. We still got 54. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button and hit the like button. Appreciate y'all here. I see Pamela in chat. How you doing, Pamela? I wouldn't be hanging out in a Barfalo space either. How you doing? You out, Kevin? I ain't going nowhere yet. But good night to you if you are. 72 undefeated. How you doing, Tyrone Hall? I see you too. A couple more people just joining us. Raven 187. How you doing? Bobby Supreme. How's it going, Bobby? We do see a lot. Once more than one Bills fan gets here, I noticed that once more than one gets here, that's when they start really, really chirping. Like they almost feel stronger as a group. It's really funny. Yeah, Kevin. I mean, I'm not going to go all night. I gotta try to do a show in the morning early, one way or another. 6 a.m. By the way, top of the tailgate. If not, it'll be me with a coffee and a cup of Culler. But I just had to say what I had to say about Kader, because I really think we got to stop with this. We got so many other problems on defense, which I firmly believe Capitan is going to find out. We got so many other problems on defense that Kader is the last one we should be talking about. It's ridiculous. And I just hope that there's not some kind of rift forming between, our highest paid corner and the new DC. A lot of this has to do with somebody that's injured right now too, that I think people were expecting. And again, I just don't understand why we should have just treated this game on defense the way it was treated last year, no matter who the defensive coordinator was. And then at least we could be blaming the offense this week. I mean, win or lose. Win, you could say, well, good for you, offense. You scored more than 32 points. And then if we only scored 20 in that scenario, now we can really look to the offense and say, what the hell? You can't score somewhere between 70 and 20 against the Buffalo Bills. I'm not talking about 70 points being a reality and all that against the Broncos, but you can't score somewhere between 70 and 20 against the Bills. We just didn't execute on either side of the ball. Kind of one other positive, Devon Devonachan is a badass runner. That's all I'm going to say. That dude has the skills, man. That dude has the gift. Unbelievable. Knifed it right up the middle for a touchdown. You saw it on that highlight reel, on that mic'd up highlight reel. Just knifed it right up the middle for a touchdown. You got to love that. We could have done that all day. If we could have just got Josh Allen off the field a couple more times. And so now it's becoming really clear to me that regardless of whether, I don't think the problem was the defense. I never said it has been, but our offense is clearly the better side of the ball right now. And I'm not saying they did their job by any stretch of the imagination Sunday. 20 points is not enough. But the offense, it's clear that they're going to do what they're going to do, depending on the opponent. The defense played like absolute trash on Sunday. I'm not saying they are trash. I said they played like trash. No pursuit to the football whatsoever. The one tackle, okay, so Kader, Kohou, on one instance, showing the world how to tackle. When we finally get some pursuit to the football and he gets some help, Brandon Jones comes in and knocks him off the tackle. You can't make this shit up. Like, what are you doing? Like, you just come in closing your eyes or something? Go watch. Another thing I didn't like. What is Cameron Good even doing on our field? If we can't get in the backfield and we can't make stops on defense, what is the difference? When you're putting somebody like Joseph in at corner, the guy, by the way, the guy that we traded Noah for, number 9. But you can't give a guy like Good a shot more than the end of the game there when we've already lost last week. I mean, I'm sorry, when we were already up by 70 or when we were already up by 50 against the Broncos. But like, nobody can tackle. What's the harm in putting a second-year guy in that you've proven already that you believe in, because you kept him on the practice squad 2 seasons in a row, and then you called him up 3 times already and then had to sign him to the 53-man roster. And guess what? You signed him, which means you're saying we believe in this guy. But you don't believe in him enough to put him on the field in the absence of Jalen Phillips so that Van Ginkel could fall back to what he was doing. Maybe that works better against Buffalo. I don't know. We couldn't even try it. Well, that's the thing, Kevin. It is easy to play defense when you know the other team has to throw the ball. That's why your offense has to jump out to a quick couple score lead so that your defense, if you do have these deficiencies that we have, so that we can thrive. That's how our defense was built. Maybe we could say that we disagree with how, like, with them, as to how it was built, but that's how it was built. And our offense was doing it. But at the same time, we had a formula that at least held the Buffalo Bills to a certain average number of points. And Vic, to me, the coaching treated this game as a game to continue building what he was building instead of and continuing to get his feet wet instead of just doing what the last guy did, whoever did that worked last year to get this game in the bag so that we could, we have the ability to say, oh, okay, well, we got a 2-game lead. Let Fangio start cooking his stuff against the Giants this week. I don't understand the treatment of the football game, I guess is what I'm saying. The Bills played like a team that had a lot to lose, and we played a team that didn't have very much to lose. And that's just what happens in the NFL. I mean, I'm going to be over it after tonight. It's Tuesday, but the Giants, to me, they're so bad. The only thing we're going to be harping on all week is the trap. I already know it. We should just defeat them just the same as we defeated any other inferior opponent at home in Hard Rock. It's good to come home. We got 2 in a row at home, I think. Finally. I mean, that's another thing, guys. We're 3-1 at the quarter mark. And we've played 3 road games, man. We've only had 1 game at home. I mean, I guess that builds up. I don't know. But what I would say is this other thing that I was aggravated about before I start to wrap it up. Unless anybody had anything in particular to say. I don't want to start a full panel, but I'm too tired for that. And we're all just going to say the same things. But this whole Taylor Swift thing, like, really? Like, I just want the NFL.com, which is where the article I saw come up on my toilet source. Y'all know it as my Google news feed. And his headline was something like Taylor Swift, blah, 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 cheers for fucking, blah, blah. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, that's what this is about now? Like, how many times Taylor Swift cheered? Or how she got excited for a play? And I'm seeing this, this is news? Like, this is disgusting, people. I don't even put her on my top 100 as to be thought about women of the world. Like, really? It wasn't even this bad with Jessica Simpson with Romo. At least he was a quarterback. Like, I don't really care who's watching the Kansas City Chiefs and what they think about it. Like, they're cutting to this woman. I was reading the article. It's kind of interesting. But they're making cuts to this woman that are like when she's not even like, it's like every time Pacheco did something good and they're cutting to her and her reaction to the game. I mean, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. And you got major networks. Fox even talked about it. I saw an article from Fox News. Like, you've got to be kidding me. And no, I don't necessarily follow these certain news sources. They just come up on my Google News feed. But the point was, it's like NFL.com. I'm like, really? This is what we're writing articles about. How many times Taylor Swift was cut to by ABC or whoever ran the game. Or NBC, I don't even remember who it. See, I don't want to speak out of turn. It could have been either of the networks. I'd have to look at the article again. But this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I mean, like, seriously. Yeah, you mentioned it once or twice. Okay, fine. But they made the entire broadcast about her. Well, it's Sunday night, so it would have been NBC. Football Night in America. Well, whatever they want to do. Didn't work out really well for Tony Romo. Just saying. And that's all I'll say about it. It's just stupid. Like, really. What a dumb thing to be talking about during a football game. I wish the Jets would have won that game, man. I really do. I hate to say it, much as I hate the Jets, but I wish the Jets would have pulled that off. I went to bed and fell asleep at 17-5. I'm like, this is done. This is stupid. I wasn't even listening to the broadcast, like what they were saying, because I wasn't really paying attention to that, and I mute that stuff now anyway. But I'm watching the game, and I'm just like cranking Z's, man, at 17-5. And then I wake up the next morning, check the score. I'm like, wow, look at that. Yeah, I hope the Swifties are get pissed at me for saying it. Oh, good evening, Kevin Lee. Yes, sort of. Tonk had some important studying to do for something important, so I just kind of offered to cover him tonight, and as such made it a preempted late night color commentary about this whole Kader Kohou getting, and I just think he completely got hung out to dry, and the whole drama that seems to be developing between our defensive coordinator and Xavier Howard. I don't know. But yeah, thanks, man. I encourage you to check out the replay. And if you got any questions, I'm certainly here to answer. We had a poll about Javon playing the Javon Holland mic'd up video, so we played that. And I really don't, tonight I don't have much more to offer other than maybe answering some questions from the audience and wrapping it up. I appreciate all 57 of you still hanging with me. And I encourage you to like and share. Make sure you're catching all the great content here at the Fins Tailgate, which includes myself, as well as El Capitan, diligently working on disseminating the All 22 to see what happens Sunday. And of course, Ali, top of the tailgate in the morning with myself co-hosting. And dropping broken takes, as well as I forgot to mention earlier, I don't know why, Late Night XL, Club XL. We're here to party on Saturday nights at 9:30, 10 o'clock, depending on home game or away. And we're here to bring the party. That's what Club XL is all about on Late Night XL. We're trying to bring the hype. And boy, it was fun against, yakking it up with the Bills last week of fans. I guess we, probably have a lot to crow to eat, but whatever. I'll say everything I said last week again. I don't care. If I had a time machine and went back in time, I would say everything I already did. But also Shake Money with the Drive Time and the Smoke Lounge. Lewis helping him with that, Rabid Dolphin, and also helping Crypto on Mondays at 10 a.m. And then, of course, Crypto on Thursdays at noon. KP giving you the TFTG, official TFTG Fantasy Football League. Saturdays at 11. And then, of course, Tonk, the OG, coming at you Tuesdays with TMI Tuesdays. Other than tonight, you get late night color commentary. If you'd like to support the channel, you can find us. You can use $, the Fins Tailgate on Cash App and the Fins Tailgate on Venmo, as well as super chats and super stickers and memberships. Welcome to all the members. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I see you, Mark. I see you, Pam. I see you, Kevin. All of you. Miss Fins. They either have a green tag, and the moderators that have a blue tag have a shield, have a TFTG emoji next to their name. So say thank you to them, but also hit the like button while you're doing it and share. You can check out our partners, Fanatics. Linking is in the description below. Let them know we sent you. Drink W all night to keep the energy to shop at Fanatics. No relation between the two. All natural stuff. All smash, no crash. W. Check out Shake Money's review on W. And then, of course, you can take your gear over to Backroom Collections. Have them customize it for you. Have them customize your office space or your man cave or your kitchen or your dining or whatever you want. Husband and wife team will get you going. Small business. Support your small businesses, people. All the links are in the description below. And you can use the code TFTG at checkout for W and Backroom Collections for 10% off. As well as going over to our website, tftgnetwork.com. Make it your homepage, bookmark it. It's your centralized location for all of the TFTG content, as well as our shop, where you can get our gear and our flag that looks something like this. And of course, the Cookin' Folk apron. Those are just some examples. You can get yourself a color commentary mug with this logo on it and a Finn's Tailgate logo on the reverse side. But it is guaranteed to make your coffee taste better, or my name is not Culler. So if it doesn't taste better, I'll change my name. I'm just kidding. Make sure you're checking out all the great content. You can find out all links to all of it on tftgnetwork.com. That is not controlled by YouTube. So that is the one place you can make sure you can find links to our stuff, even the stuff that comes back to YouTube. So there you go. One day, we will be way more self-sufficient. And that would be thanks to all of you that support us and have supported us. We're almost to 6,000 subscribers. That's amazing. I can't believe it. And it's all because of you guys sharing and liking the video. All the content that we do here at the Finn's Tailgate. Color commentary, myself, Ali, Lewis, Rabbit Dolphin, Shake Money, KP now, Crypto, Tonk, El Capitan, who put it all together. All those who have contributed before. And we appreciate every one of you. I asked you guys, I told you guys you could ask questions, and I didn't even pay attention to if anybody did. So Kevin Lee asks, Culler, based on the Giants only scoring 3.3 yesterday and them playing like crap, do you see another game like Denver? I mean, I don't see why you couldn't argue that point, like somewhere between 20 points and 70 points. Theoretically, hypothetically, both, I guess you could say that. I mean, why not? The Denver Broncos put up 20 on us, 13 on offense, and that took time to do. I mean, what if we had that time back? Look, if we play like we know we can play, then we should be able to. That's not what I'm calling for. I'm just saying I'm not predicting that, certainly, but I have the expectation that we could have a game that gets way out of hand. I mean, nobody saw it coming with the Broncos, but we would see it coming with the Giants. Usually that kind of thing doesn't happen. But that doesn't mean we couldn't blow them out. I mean, it could still be a 35-0 or something, or 42-10 or whatever, but 70, I don't know. But then again, there's also Crypto always warns about matchups. And sometimes it's all about how you match up with another team. Let's see. Raven 187 asks, have you checked in with El Capitan? He may need detox. That tape would make me want to drink. Oh yeah, no doubt. That's funny. So yeah. Now again, Amicus, even if that throw from Josh Allen was better, like subjectively, if it okay, fine. It still doesn't mean that Josh Allen could have made the one that Tua made. That was my point. We all have the ability to do something that somebody else can't do. That was the point y'all were making. I mean, I'm missing. I was using a macro argument. Kevin Lee asks, Culler, you on tomorrow with Ali in the morning? Given that I'm trying to wrap up, pretty succinctly at 2 hours tonight, as much as I want to start a panel and chop it up with you all night, it's likely I will be, like probably nearing 100% chance. He says, notice y'all haven't been on this week. Well, we kind of, been informed that Ali's kind of dealing with something right now at a personal level. So we just need to all throw out prayers for Ali and his family. And I don't have any word whether we're doing top of the tailgate tomorrow, but I will be doing something at 6 a.m. Or shortly thereafter, whether it has to be coffee and a cup of Culler, or whether we do come through with a top of the tailgate episode. So yeah, we're getting back on track with that in the morning, 6 a.m. to 8. How you doing, Raphael? Good to see you. Raphael's another member just coming in. B McD, I appreciate that. But it is teamwork around here, but I get your sentiment and I certainly appreciate it. Yeah, Ali does definitely. Let's all throw out prayers for Ali. No matter what deity you believe in or deities. Yeah. Even if you believe in yourself, pray to yourself. We all need to send some energy, positive energy over to Ali. And with that, I'm going to say, everybody, I don't think the season is wrecked. I don't think there's a big deal between Fangio and X. I think maybe X didn't want to cross certain lines, and I get it and everything. We just need to fix our issues. We need to treat every one of these games seriously until we're so far ahead that it don't matter. But I don't think by any stretch of the imagination is our season not wrecked. We have one loss. I told you all this season I'm in 10-year-old Culler mode. We're 17-0 until we lose. And the moment we lose, we're 16-1. Well, we lost, so we're going 16-1. No, I'm kidding. I'm not making that as my objective prediction or expectation, but I'm being a kid right now and saying that we're going 16-1. We only got one loss. Can't lose the season at 3-1. So let's get back on track. Let's kick the Giants' ass. Let's show their fans who live around here why Hard Rock is not their stadium. And as always, thank you all so much. Thank you, Pam. And thank you, Mark. Thank you, Raven 8187, Jose M. I see y'all's prayers, man. I appreciate y'all. Ali does too. Don't ever forget that. It's up to you guys. It's up to you. I mean, it's because of you guys as to why we do this. There's no reason for me to talk to a wall. And when it's like, it's like the good old days when I used to do late night color commentary at this time every night. You know, I'll go to midnight and there'd be still 60 of you watching. And like tonight, there's 50 of you still joining us at close to midnight. Eager to talk about your Miami Dolphins. I know we had a really tough loss. I'm about over it in 5 minutes. I will be over the loss to the Buffalo Bills and be focused on the Giants. We'll start talking about going forward this week, how we can take care of business and destroy this team like we should. So that being said, everybody have a wonderful evening. Good night to you all, and Finn's always up.